They were attracted to Windsor Road because it was the worst house in the street, which nearly always means strong potential for profit.
Well, basically, I look for neighbourhood and to see what the houses next door are like, to see if we can do something really with the house.
When you gauge the street, we always look at neighbours' gardens. If the neighbours around are usually quite tidy and clean, then once you've finished your development, then it'll fit in quite well.
So the prospect of a terrific investment lay ahead for Steve and Ruth. We're back 6 weeks later to see how they got on. Intriguingly, we find them both gardening. It turns out that they've had to do some major construction work at the back of the house.
Well, when we first came into the garden, we were a bit worried about the security problems here because people were using this as a shortcut to go over to the estate over the road. So we wanted to put in a much higher fence here. But we found that there's not much point putting in a high fence up here unless we could do something about our neighbours as well. So what we did, we agreed with the neighbour that we would put the tall fence in right the way across. In return for that, he'd use the old fence posts and fencing here, and he's actually putting that in. And then we also agreed, again, another good bonus point, we could get our JCB in and then level out both our garden and his next door as well. So it saved just a lot of time and money as well.
Steve and Ruth seem to be a canny couple, able to make their money stretch a long, long way. The outside of the house is now looking smart. Let's see what they've done inside. The sitting room is now restored to its former glory, complete with a new wood floor. But to get the property to this stage, Steve and Ruth had to deal with a number of unforeseen problems.
The first job we did was take out the wall between the kitchen and the toilet, and then ripped out all the old kitchen units.
And then we came into here and we dealt with the damp proofing. I mean, this room was absolutely horrendous, wasn't it, Steve? And we took up the floorboards in here.
There was woodworm in the floor in the living room, so we removed all the floorboards, treated all the joists with woodworm treatment. We also replaced all the flooring in the bathroom and did the same there, and also the front bedroom. There were some small cracks in the property, mainly due to the lack of lintels over the doorways. So we've installed 3 new lintels over each of the old doorways, and they shouldn't move again, hopefully. Well, we were always going to put a parking bay in, but we decided to stone it up and put gravel over the top. But having thought about it since, we might put a solid paving path along the side of it. Yeah,
because there's always a difficulty getting the wheelie bins to the front of the drive.
Prams, things like that.
But we were lucky, really, because we'd spotted that there was already a drop curb there at the front anyway, so...
With so much additional work, how has their budget fared?
The budget for this house was originally about 6 to 7, I would say. We've come out just under 7,000, so I'm quite pleased with that.
They're professional builders and landlords, but just how did they manage to make £7,000 go so far?
I've done a lot of recycling, which I'm quite pleased about, things like plants, the porch that we had from somewhere else, bits of wood that we had lying around.
We've also used the toilet door that was at the back of the house. It's now the gate into the...
Side gate.
So that's recycled.
Recycled again.
Yeah. So that saved about £50.
Making good use of the things that we find, things that the everyday folks leave behind.
Steve and Ruth's imaginative flair for recycling has done wonders for Windsor Road. They've eked out their £7,000 budget very successfully. Add that to their purchase price of £83,000 and it's a total investment of £90,000. To me, it looks like their new home is worth a lot more than that. But what do 2 local agents think?
Nice, bright, clean property, recently decorated, new kitchen, new bathroom, very good indeed.
The standard finish, they've done well. They've done everything right. I can't really pick any faults at all.
So how much do they think the property could be sold for?
If I were to put this property on the market tomorrow, I would market it at £110,000.
I would pitch the price at £107,000.
That means that Steve and Ruth have made a profit of £17,000. How do they feel about that?
A little bit more than we thought. So do tend to keep an eye on local prices.
Since we started on the job, there's several properties in the street have been improved. We might sell it in a couple of years. We'll see how the market goes.
And if they were to rent it out, which was Steve and Ruth's original idea?
The rental on this property per calendar month would be approximately £500.
I'd love to rent this property out for the new owners, and I would probably ask for £495 per calendar month.
That rent is actually around £20 less than Steve and Ruth are going to be charging, but that's OK because they've already found a tenant.
When we're looking for tenants, I usually go to the local authority. This particular property, I found a really nice tenant. She's really deserving of, you know, it's a lovely house and a fresh start.
Their new tenant will be very lucky to live in this comfortable modern home that Steve and Ruth have created. Now that this husband and wife team have 16 rental properties in their portfolio, are they going to stop there?
We want to buy another maybe 6 or 8 properties.
Like this one.
Yeah, like this one. We've got
in Telford as well.
Yeah, we've got 8 more to build, and then after that, hopefully we can go into semi-retirement and spend more time on holidays. And we're hoping both to do a lot more charity work abroad. Yeah. Again, building schools or hospitals.
Can't get away from the building projects, I'm afraid.
In Africa or India.
Steve and Ruth will be going to Nepal to build a local school. And I'm sure they'll do a job every bit as good as they did on Windsor Road.